Okay, I really got to stop rambling on. I just try to stick to one topic and then keep it that way. What we going to talk about is sexual consent that I learned, or that ugh, I was watching the Red Table Talk, and it was about sexual consent. And what I thought about the show, I thought it was a good show. Jada, one, I know a lot of people give Jada a lot of shit, but when it comes to topics like this, I feel like it's really spot on. I felt like there was a lot of openings in there, especially from Jada's mother. She was like, "Oh, I've been through that with your father." She just kind of looking like, "What the fuck did he do?" And then she was like, "Shit, I don't want to talk about on camera." Um, do I? I understand like you don't want your own personal life, but I feel like what she could have said was a learned lesson. But as consent goes, you don't want to talk about everything on the table. Some things you kind of like want to keep, and which I understand. So they had Rumor Willis, where she was talking about Hollywood, which is probably like a whole nother fucking thing, because I know half of those kids is like they're not even 18, they over there fucking. I just seen a picture of fucking Magic Johnson kissing Janet Jackson in the mouth, and she was 16. And I don't know how old this was, the 80s, so I don't know how the whole fucking Magic was, but I think when you look at it now, it's probably gross, and I don't know how it was looked at back then. Let's just say that I don't understand how it was looked at back then. And it's Hollywood, and Hollywood is a lot of weird, which is, and I don't want to get too off topic, because a lot of people in like that industry shit, I feel like they run by a different set of rules, and that's probably why a lot of people look at Jay-Z, like the whole thing with Aaliyah and the R. Kelly thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like most of those 15-year-old, those young stars in the making, like, has actually had sexual intercourse with people older than them, like 10 or 20 years older than them. I wouldn't be surprised, because I feel like in that industry it happens all the time. Now, with that being said, okay, Amber Rose was on there, and I've always said I know a lot of people don't like Amber Rose. I actually like Amber Rose. I do think she's a talented. The thing is, some of the shit she says, I feel like is bullshit, and especially with the whole like you should dress however the fuck you want and not be looked at. Look, and this is what I mean about men and women. Oh, maybe it's this generation, and it's like this is a generational thing, because men, we always like look the part, be the part. So if I want to go on a job interview, I'm going to wear a suit. All right. If I want to go to a basketball game, or if I'm playing basketball, I'm in a jersey and shorts. A lot of women is just like they want to wear these super sexy ass clothes, and this is what I mean about the generational gap, because in the 50s, like they wore like big long dresses and dresses down to their ankles, like, and even in the 70s, like, yeah, they had short shorts and all that other stuff, but the women that was dressed like rude and crude and had like their nipples showing, they were strippers and hookers. So when an old woman tell you, it's like, look at his job and your midriff is showing, and damn near you can see your titties through your see-through shirt. Of course they're going to say something, because back then, or they're gonna call you a prostitute, because back then, like, those are the shits that the prostitutes wear. The women, I think the women understand that, but they don't give a fuck. It was like, oh, just because I wear this is just, but these are the, and I say this, we get most of that shit from women. Like, some of the shit I've learned are from women, or even the way, like, from older women. So I feel like even the older women don't like the way the younger women dress. It's like some of y'all dress like hoes, and I understand like the time of day is just like you want to be sexy, or you want to be comfortable in your own skin, and it's just like it's just a style. Like, nobody's dressing like Little House on the Prairie no more. All right, they're wearing like booty shorts for like, and going to like just regular gatherings and shit. Hell, and then men, we already know that other young boys just try to go after them, because we've been there. We know that, oh, that motherfucker's going to try to get at my daughter. It's like, because I used to act like that. Now a lot of women are, oh, you used to act like, it's like when it's not good. Just because I used to act like that don't mean, it's not good. This is why, like, old people are down to bring wisdom. It's like, we know it's not good. I understand that I used to do that when I was younger, but that was bad. So, it's a whole talk about, you know, my body, my choice versus, look the part, be the part. Because it's like a lot of men, we know that, the women, and they hate, a lot of women hate to hear this, but the women that used to wear them type of shit were easy. They were after men's attention. And even, it's still, to me, it still proves to this day, because I know some of you women, like, because you wear this shit, and then you put this shit on, and then some of your Instagram, like, y'all don't like to say this, and this is where I got a problem with Amber Rose. Like, you put this shit on, and then, like, you have this Instagram now, and you have these captions like, waiting for Zaddy and these lewd ass dresses and all that shit. Is like, or like, would you sit with me, or like, be half naked in the fucking, this is good. Oh well, be half naked on your Instagram talking about, what would you let me cook for you, and be nothing in the fucking stove or something, be nothing in there, but you just half naked. You know damn well niggas is not looking at the fucking food. We are looking at your titties and ass. Like, my whole thing with Amber Rose, I love her to death. I really do. I do think she's a smart person, but I also think, like, in the words of Marlo, you want it one way, but it's the other way. And that's the whole problem with the men and women. It's just like, you want it one way, but it's the other way. It's like, and I feel like with the women, it's like, you think our way is thinking wrong, but a lot of men, it's just like, but I learned this from women. Me personally, like, most of that shit, I learned this from women. When they try to get your attention, yeah, they show a little leg, they flash their ass or something like that, because they know, like, we some fucking horn dogs. And even men know, look, I'm a fucking horn dog. Of course I'm gonna look at your titties. If you got them low collar shirts that show your titties out, you think I'm not gonna look at your titties? I'm a titty dude. Of course I'm gonna look at your titties. Put the titties away. Ma'am, could you put your titties away? Can we have a conversation? Titties is all tittying. Look, for the, full figure women, all that, I understand sometimes you just don't know what to do with them, and that's just, there are things I get. Like I said, gray area, and which is I want to talk about, because they talked about the gray area, especially like when it comes to sex. Now, the gray area, for most of is basically, I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no. What's happened? Now, the thing is, no one wins in the gray area, and that's why it's a gray area, because you don't know. Because and I feel like this is what got Bill Cosby all yucked up with the whole Quaaludes thing, even though he didn't go arrested off of Quaaludes, because people are calling him a rapist, and even though in his deposition he said, I gave the women a drink, they knew what it was, and they knew what was popping. So now those same women that knew it was popping, right, all of a sudden, like 50 years ago, oh, now it's considered rape. It was like, and I'm pretty sure you knew what the fucking Quaalude was. The thing, and one thing I've always said, like, we got to stop this. It's like a lot of people is like, oh, they play the naive game, but you want people to look at you as an equal, but you got to understand this is a naive game. It's just like, oh, I didn't know what it was. I was so young and you're so naive and all that shit, but you chose to fuck with me anyway. Now, the whole thing about the gray area, this is one example, and Jada did bring this up. It was, if I bring you home, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I bring you to my hotel, and you say yes, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. And even Jada's mother was like, I disagree, you shouldn't know. And she was like, not so much. I could get to know you better. I said, that's some naive shit. Now, I love Jada, but, I disagree with that. That's some bullshit. But if you really do believe that, I feel like your parents failed you. For one thing, I've learned from older people is, like, a dry purse and a wet pussy does not mix. And nothing is open at 2 o'clock in the morning except fast food and legs. And the freaks come out at night. Alright? Like, that if I'm taking you to a hotel, I'm trying to get it in. You should know that. And I know, like, if you didn't, that means your parents did not parents did not prepare you for shit like that. Probably because they didn't know that you was gonna get into shit like that. But a lot of parents don't prepare you for shit like that. Or it's just like right now, the equivalent to that is Netflix and chill. Hey, you want to come over to my house? Watch some Netflix and chill. Like everybody know what the fuck Netflix. You know what the fuck Netflix and chill is. You try Netflix and chill. You know that niggas is really trying to fuck, or some people are trying to fuck. Don't. It's like you can't be that naive. And if you are, your parents done failed you. It's like, oh, I want to go over there and like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. And that's the thing about the gray area. And me speaking as a man, and I tell people this all the time. I'd rather you tell me you are uncomfortable and you don't, if we're like in the middle or we are having sex, I'd rather you tell me no than you be like, well, I didn't, I know that we kind of had sex, but I was really uncomfortable. But because first thing I'm gonna ask you is, why the fuck didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't, I just didn't want to. No, and to me, it's just like, and I, and to me, it's just like you gotta let me know these things because I know I'm big on body language, and I tell everybody read your body language and all that other stuff. Which men, you really should learn how to read body language. I'm not fronting on that. But women, you gotta understand that, and a lot of women you don't understand this, and a lot of women don't think this is an excuse, but it's really fucking not because tests are proven. There are tests that prove this. When men are horny or that testosterone is really running rampant, we don't think straight. We make brash decisions, and we just we go with the first. We usually go with the first choice, and it's not really the best choice. Like we don't really we don't second guess, we don't second think ourselves or nothing. We just go with the first thing that comes to it. And it really is she wants me to give her the dick. And like shit, she got me here. I take off her clothes. She ain't say no. She ain't say no. Let me give her the dick. She ain't say no. All right, let me just. She ain't say no. And then let me find out well, and then if I found I done had sex with you and you wasn't comfortable with it, I'm gonna feel bad because the whole time I thought you was comfortable, and even if and a lot of women you do this too, and I hate this, and a lot of men hate this. It's like, are you okay? And you go, I'm fine. I keep telling women don't understand that men don't, and I say this a lot. Men do not know how to read body language, especially when we at our horniness. We just trying to get it in. I'm not saying we're selfish, but like I said, we just make a brash decision. We're like, all right, let me get mine. This is shit that you got. I feel like when it comes to sex, you have to let your partner know that you are either comfortable or uncomfortable. The one thing I appreciate with my ex, and I loved her for it, she was damn near she calls herself a this, and she would say she was an influence, but she loves sex. But at the same time, she will also tell me when she's comfortable, uncomfortable. She'll also tell me when she's sad. And even then, I'm with her long enough, I can tell when shit was bugging her and all that other stuff. But most of the time all the time, every time when we had sex, she was with it. She was comfortable. She will verbally tell me she wants some dick. Or she'll say things like give me that dick or come fuck me or some shit like that. Or body language wise, she'll do some things where she verbally telling me she wants some dick or some shit like that. She done that. She was comfortable with herself. She and that was my partner and I didn't cheat. She didn't cheat. We enjoyed each other's company. She was always comfortable when it came to having sex. Even if we woke up in the middle of the night, all of a sudden we're fucking and all that shit. She loved this shit. I appreciate that for her because that was communication and me learning her body and everything else about it. She loved this shit. Now, the thing is, that's me knowing. Now, a lot of things is I've been in a situation, not with her, but with another woman where I was really trying to, I liked her a lot, but I was also trying to smash. Like, and me and her had this conversation before. We've had this conversation too. Like, it was one time where she was in a hotel room, and we was both in a hotel room. She just got out the shower, so she was like, she was in her bra and panties. So, like, she was there watching Family Guy and all that stuff. So I said, "Fuck it, I make a move." Or like, I kiss her on the shoulder. Like, I kiss her on the shoulder, and I felt now me. This is like I said, reading body language is important. I like I felt her body tense up, and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I don't want to like do it. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I kind of look at you as a friend, blah blah blah, or you're more like a brother to me and all that other shit." So I understood that. I said, "Okay." Like like even though I really did want to smash and all that stuff, I respected her space and I respected. We did not have sex. I still have not never had sex with a woman, but I respected a woman. Now, did I wake up in the morning mad? No, I wasn't mad. But I didn't. But in my opinion, it's just like, damn, I didn't complete the mission. Like, I really want to smash, but I didn't complete the mission. Now I'm thinking, it's like, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't do nothing wrong. But she said like a brother, like she liked me, but she didn't like me in that type of way. So as the day go on, like, damn, I was thinking about it. But as the day go on, I'm like, wait a minute. I just got in this position. I'm in this position with a girl I like. She said no. I respected her words. I didn't do nothing brash, and she's still comfortable around me. Where we're having conversations and all that other stuff. Yes, this feeling is awkward, but she's still comfortable around me. Where we're talking, we're like bullshitting with each other. Give yourself a pat on the back because you didn't do nothing to make her like you didn't do nothing further to make her uncomfortable. And like I said, we had that conversation about that. I was like, I'm proud of, and I told her I'm proud of myself that I didn't do it. It's like, even though I respect your body and I respect you as a person and all that stuff, but I'm also you gotta look at yourself. Hey, I got in that position. I'm not a scumbag. I'm proud of myself. Like, and I had to pat myself on the back. She said thank you for respecting me and all that other stuff. So be proud of yourself for that. I'm proud of, and like I said, I'm proud of myself for that because I showed restraint and I showed that I respected a woman's body enough that I don't like it didn't have to go that far. So, and there's been a couple times I've been in there, like I'm like it's been a couple times I slept in the bed with women and I've done nothing. There's been times where I've like slept in the bed and it's like, oh shit, this is happening, and like, but they started like some of the women initiated, and and it was like, how do you know the women did? It's like they gave me head. Like they'll start like they'll start fondling you before you fondle them. You be like, oh shit. It's like, I guess, and then like it gets there. Sometimes, yes, consent. They'll give you nonverbal consent. So that's why I said learn how to read body language because some women they won't say yes verbally, but they'll give you some nonverbal consent, like giving you head or basically like rubbing on your dick or some shit like that. Like they really want this shit, or like they'll throw your ass on you and shit. Like some women do that. So learn how to read them, but they also like give you like verbal consent, like fuck me and all that other shit. Like just look, like fellas, just always look out for that. So those are the experiences I've had, and those are the experiences. Excuse me. And those are the experiences I feel like a lot of people should know. So I've always told people, men, like especially when the gray area, learn to read your body language of the woman, and but also women. I've and this is something I will teach my daughter. If you are uncomfortable, please. And this is just me, and I understand. And let's just get there. I understand some dudes don't take no for an answer. I understand that. We're talking about the men that do. For the men that do, if you are uncomfortable, you should let him know verbally. And I say this because some men do not know how to read body language. Even Amber Rose is like, man, some men know. They just want to. It's like, nah, some dudes don't. Some dudes is like really some men do not know how to read body language. So they might not pull up on the signals like your body tensing up. Just like JD said, oh, some girls may not know, maybe I just try to get to know the person. It's like, yeah, there's some naive ass niggas out there. I understand there's some naive ass women, but there's some naive ass niggas out there too. Our shit is, but it's worse on us because I've always said men care about rape more than women do, and I'm going to die on that hill. This is, and which is why we take the extra we take the extra step, and a lot of women hate it, but we take that extra step just to make sure that if either the person is a rapist or because a lot of women is like, when you say that nigga raped me, we're supposed to instantly jump. No, we're going to ask questions, and we're going to ask questions to make sure that once we confirm that he's a rapist, then we're getting them the fuck out of here. I've always said that. As men, we are twice as scary when it comes to rape because we don't want to be considered as a rapist. Look what it did to Bill Cosby. All right, that was hearsay. Look at the shit did to now. Like even now, people still look at him as a rapist. Oh, you still support Bill? And me is like, and I've been adamant and said I don't think Bill Cosby raped those women. But I've had that conversation many a times. But like, what I would teach my daughter, like, if you are uncomfortable, verbally say no because I want you to let the other person know I'm uncomfortable. This is not going to happen before you even go to his house. We're not having sex. I just want you to know we're not having sex. I don't care if he gives you that okay or it's like, no, I'm letting you know this verbally. We are not having sex. And I am not comfortable enough to. I just want you to like make it obvious to the point where it's like cringy. It's like because I don't want to say it will prevent, but it's just one of those things where I feel like as a parent, let me do my job. You let them know that you are like this. It's not going to go down. I don't know what you're thinking in your head, but it's not going to go down. Now, yes, the nigga's still going to try to coerce it out of you, but like I said, if it's no the first time, it's going to be no the 100th time. If it's no the 100th time, it's going to be no the 1,000th time. Or two, you are comfortable with that man that you want to give yourself to him. You say no. I don't want to. Don't give it no. I don't knows. Don't give it no. Maybe. I don't want to hear no if then was maybe. And I tell women this too. It's like I don't know. I need a yes or no from you. Cause that's how I am. It's like when it comes to sex, I need a yes or no from you, or at least some type of consent. It's like, just fuck me or something like that. I need that verbal motherfucking consent. And with that being said, I, I understand that, yeah, some men will take, it's not going to take no for an answer. If it goes further than that, then that's considered rape. And if he does rape you, I want, and I'm just this like still me telling my daughter, if someone ever takes advantage of you like that, you let me know firsthand, and I'm going to handle it. We're going to handle it as such. If that man takes advantage of you, if you tell him no, if you verbally tell him no, and he continues to pursue it, let me know. I will handle it as a father. As if I have a son, because a lot of women's like, so what you gonna tell your son? If I'm going to tell my son, look, learn how to read body language, because a lot of women don't want to. There's a lot of women that don't want to have sex, but they won't tell you. But their body will tell you before their body will tell you before their mouths do. If their body, if like some of the signs is they'll like their body will tense up because like with the girl I was with, her body tensed up. So me, like learning how to read body language, that was a sign she may not want to do this. Which made me ask her, "Are you okay?" Which gone to, "I'm not comfortable." Blah blah blah. I look at you as a brother. Okay, I backed off. The same thing. I want you to ask questions because I don't want you to. I don't want you to be like. I don't want you to get caught in a situation where she didn't say yes, but she didn't say no, and all of a sudden she feels she's going to feel bad about this later because that's all going to fall on you, and people going to look at you as a fucking jerk. And I'm not going to. I don't want you to get into that situation. Now, if she says yes, and then all of a sudden mean no, that's not your fault. If you and a lot of women's like, what do you mean? No, if one thing I always say, like, I don't have a problem with coercion, which is why I said I would tell my daughter, keep saying no until you are comfortable with saying yes. Don't even give them a, all right, nigga, damn. I don't want my daughter to even give you the, all right, nigga, damn, it'll shut you the fuck up. I don't even want my daughter to give him that. If you're no, no. And like, cause like I said, coercion, cause as long as he has that yes, he could do whatever the fuck he want. Because um you said yes. Even if you didn't want to. Like there's times where I didn't want to do nothing. But since I gave a promise or like I'm contracted I'm legally obligated to do it, I have to do it. Because it's legally in my contract. Or I got it. But if you tell that nigga no, and if he pursues, that's rape. Coercion, and this is why a lot of people say sexual coercion is rape. The thing is, what I always say, sexual coercion is not rape because you gave him the go ahead. If you tell him yes, oh, you got me to do it, but I really didn't want to, then you should have said no. And that's a lot of women can argue with that. Well, you should say no. I understand that nigga, he's supposed to, and I tell women all the time, he's kind of supposed to, because he's really trying to get the pussy. So he's going to try to manipulate you. He's going to try to coerce you. He's going to try to do anything to try to get that pussy. If you are uncomfortable, say no. So, just say no. As long as you say no, and if he does anything else goes further, that's rape. All right? And he should feel like an asshole. He should feel like a scumbag. He should feel like a sleazeball. So, like, look out. I tell him, look out for the women that, that say yes but mean no, but also make sure you read the body language. And if you ask them, are you okay? I'm fine. If they hit you with the I'm fine, or, their body's just like, hell, even if their body's still tense, or, they look scared, it's just like, you're not comfortable. If they just not look comfortable at all, just don't do it. Just don't do it. If they ask you what's wrong, it's like, look, you don't look comfortable. I'm not comfortable with it. Hell, I've told the girl, it's like, look, and it's like a lot of men look at me like bad in on that shit, but and I even feel bad about this. One girl I told no, it was like she wanted me to eat her out, and I was like, are you gonna be mad if I said no? I don't want to do it. She was like, yeah, I don't want to do it. She was mad, but I told her, hell, it's like, I understand you was going to be mad. And, like, if I was in your position, I would probably be mad, too. Especially with her. Like, I felt, like I said, I felt sorry. I felt like an asshole, but at the same time, it's just like, I didn't want to do it. And, like, I understand, like, women, like, if you don't want to do it, I'd rather you say no, let them be mad, but you be safe. He was like, yeah, you going to be mad? He was like, oh, she faking? It's like, no, I was uncomfortable. Niggas is like, oh, no, I was uncomfortable. Let them be mad. Fuck it. Sometimes women, and Amber Rose said this, and I agree with her. Let them be mad. But you were safe. And I'd rather you be safe than, like, felt uncomfortable with shit. It felt like, your first time should be special. Basically, what I'm saying is, a lot of you women and men, your first time should be special, and both of y'all should be like in the moves where you want it. And this has been my I wasn't expecting to go half an hour long, but I really did stick. I'm glad I stuck to the point. I had to write this shit down because I kept rambling. But in conclusion, consent means everything. All right. And for the men and women, when you consent, I want every partner to be comfortable with what they're doing. I want everybody to be like, especially when you're having sex, I want it to be a fun experience for it. Also use protection. Because, and like, yeah, use protection. Condoms will save your life. I understand that. People be fucking out here. But all in all, Make sure you have consent with your partners. I know I don't think sexual coercion is rape, because if you tell them yes, you basically gave them the go ahead. Even if you don't want to do it, you told them yes. That's the go ahead. And like, make sure you teach your sons and daughters this. Make sure, and I say this all the time, the first thing you learn is consent. But when it comes to something specific as sexual consent, make sure you teach your sons and daughters these so they know what to do and what not to do. And especially for men, I understand, and this is definitely going for the men. I under I understand that sometimes at your horniness, you just like, fuck, I just need to get this. Go, like, and she's not giving it to you, go in the bathroom and masturbate. Jerk off. Just go jerk off. Because most people don't, I keep telling people, go jerk off. Because once you jerk off and you bust that nut, you'll come back to normal. You're going to, like, what, you're going to feel bad that you didn't get the pussy, but at the same time, you're going to feel relieved that, hey, I didn't rape this girl. It's like, she didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I'm horny. All right, I'm just going to go. All right, let me go in the bathroom and jerk off. And then just go, go back to your business. Just, I personally want to make sure this world is safe. And consent is a conversation that everybody should have. So, with that being said, my name is Oskino Fly. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm out. Peace.